What's going on, wrestling fans? I am Charles Stoneberg, known as Ringmaster, and this is Indie Wrestling Talk, our new segment. This here, if you don't know who this guy is, you better go to Wikipedia, go to YouTube, and watch one of his matches. I'll talk about the Manager Champions, Dave. How you doing, my friend?
Good, Charles. How are you doing today?
How you doing, man? Now, how you become a manager of talent of your prestige?
Well, actually, you know what? I'm still thinking about that Wikipedia page that I don't have. I think that's where we'll start. We'll get back to that later. How do I find the talent that I have managed in the past? You know what? I started in this area in 1998, and I can remember a lot of the guys that I managed at that time. The great Motor City Madman Jamie Thunders, whom at that time was known as the Asylum, and a couple of other guys, and I put together my first faction at that point called the Dynasty. What a great time that was, so many years ago. Time flies, time flies. When you're looking for talent, you know what? Can they put asses in seats? Can they get people out of their seats and get those middle fingers up? Can they get people screaming and yelling? That's what it's all about. That's what it's always been all about. And that's how you know you've got talent.
Wow. Yeah, tag teams all around the world. The tag team that I remember that you formed, the Jihad Nation.
Jihad Nation. Very proud of that tag team. I can remember when we first brought that whole thing together. We knew that we were going to dominate the area, and in 2010 that's exactly what we did. When we started in Unified Championship Wrestling, we dominated every single tag team. When we came to 1CW, we dominated every single tag team. As a matter of fact, I can remember one of the proudest is when we put down Dave and Jay Christ, the very popular Irish Airborne, in the city of Dayton at the IPWA. Took the IPWA Tag Team Championship in a tournament. We went through 3 different teams that night, with Dave and Jake being the final team. I'll tell you what a hell of a match it was. It may be floating around out there somewhere on YouTube. You get a chance to check it out. We won the tag team titles that night, but I'll tell you what, they made us earn it. And believe me, it was one of the toughest matches that the Jihad Nation had at that time that we were doing the run. And I'll tell you what, from then to now, we really didn't have a tag team like them. After that, the competition wasn't quite the same, but we continued on through 2011 when we went to the Sword down in Middletown, put down a lot of tag teams in that area. And I'll tell you what, when the Jihad Nation run came to an end, Sheikh Uday Muhammad and I went into a different direction. Sheik was able to pick up a lot of solo titles and championships at that time. What a great run that was.
Wow,
so it was quite an experience. Very proud.
Wow. Now, let's go on to, when you talk about UCW, talking about Raj Cox, the man, the myth, the legend. If he was here right now, what would you say? He was here.
Wow, if Big Daddy Raj Cox were here right now, I think the first thing he would ask is, where's the Wildman's Wikipedia page? Big Daddy Raj Cox, all about wrestling. One of the finest promoters, one of the greatest friends that myself and so many others had in this area. He put wrestling on the map in this area. Nobody's going to dispute that. He gave a lot of guys their start. I'm talking about guys like Chris Hero. I'm talking about guys like Hop Sing, Buzzsaw, Maniac Mark Mustang, The Wrecker, New Jack from ECW. When New Jack was in town, he would always stop by Unified Championship Wrestling. Raj did so much for the Dayton area. Raj did so much. There's so many guys in this area that owe their careers to Big Daddy Raj Cox. And he was very proud of what professional wrestling was and what it's become today. It's just very sad that he is not here to see the continual evolution of the product. You know, it's just very hard because when you think about Big Daddy Roger Cox, you think so many different things. There's so many different memories that come to mind. There's so many good times that come to mind. And it's like, you know, there's so many of us that think about him every day. You know, when guys get together in the locker room and they talk about the good old days and they tell stories about him, you know, a lot of the fans have their own memories of meeting him and hanging out with him, so on and so forth. You know, we miss him. We think about him every day, and everything that a lot of the guys do in professional wrestling is done in his name. You know, he was very adamant that these guys be the best that they can possibly be, and don't half-ass it. When you get in the ring, give it your all. You know, if you're going to do it for real. You know, and he was very adamant. He was very tight with his time. He was one of those guys he would tell you, don't waste my time. You either want to do this or you don't. And it's like, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to be in wrestling, then get the hell out of here. Because for every person that's in professional wrestling that's wasting time, they're taking the spot of 10 other people. 10 other people or more.
Who's hungry. Who's hungry for it. Who's definitely hungry for it.
And I think that was one of the things that he was very big on, is if you want to do it for real. Get yourself trained. You know, if you're, you know, wanting to do a character or something like that, become that character. Be that character. Make the character believable. You know, and that's how Big Daddy Roger Cox conducted himself every time he came out from behind the curtain. You know, he would just put a smile on your face. I can remember so many times in years gone by when he came out with the True Thugs, and he would get in people's faces. He would make you feel it, and that's what he believed. Man. I don't think there's enough gnats around here, but that's what he made you believe. He made you believe that he was Big Daddy Roger Cox. He made you feel it, and that's the same way that everybody else should be. That's the way I am. That's the way Shiku De Muhammad was. That's the way the Jihad Nation was. That's the way every guy in 1CW or any of the feds across Ohio, they either believe in what they're doing or they don't. And if they don't, then they need to get the hell out of the